Welcome back, and some brand news in brief now. And a newly launched mobile app is set to connect fashion lovers with established and emerging African designers. The app is called Lesela, which means cloth or fabric in Sesotho and Swahili. It allows consumers to build profiles, browse and shop, but importantly allows designers to connect with previously untapped markets and prospective clients. American cosmetics brand CoverGirl recently announcing it would stop all animal testing, becoming the largest makeup brand to achieve Leaping Bunny certification by Cruelty Free International. Owned by the global beauty company Coty, the organization has promised to employ more responsible practices across its brand portfolio. And staying with conservation, an ad for the British supermarket chain Iceland Food has been banned from television as it's deemed to breach political advertising rules. Earlier this year, the retailer became the first major supermarket in the United Kingdom to remove palm oil from its own branded food. Turns out the ban was the best thing that could have happened, as the ad has now gone viral with more than 35 million views on YouTube.
There's orangutan in my bedroom and I don't know what to do. She plays with all my teddies and keeps borrowing my shoe. She destroys all of my houseplants and she keeps on shouting, ooh. She throws away my chocolate and she howls at my shampoo. There's orangutan in my bedroom and I don't want her to stay. So I told the naughty orangutan that she had to go away. Orangutan in my bedroom, just before you go, why were you in my bedroom? I really want to know. There's a human in my forest and I don't know what to do. He destroyed all of our trees for your food and your shampoo. There's a human in my forest and I don't know what to do. He took away my mother and I'm scared he'll take me too. There are humans in my forest and I don't know what to do. They're burning it for palm oil. So I thought I'd stay with you. Orangutan in my bedroom, now I do know what to do. I'll fight to save your home and I'll stop you feeling blue. I'll share your story far and wide so others can fight too. Orangutan in my bedroom, I swear it on the stars. The future's not yet written, but I'll make sure it is ours.
Too political? Let us know what you think on our social media pages. Now, when the local food industry was hit by the listeriosis outbreak earlier in 2018, the informal economy was particularly hard hit. I think you know that. Lives, incomes and lifestyles were threatened, yet here's the problem. There was a lack of communication that contributed to a sense of panic and uncertainty. Gigi Alcock, founder of KasiNomics, believes that communication and responsibility to our consumers and customers in that invisible, informal world, that invisible sector, needs to be done strongly in good times and in bad. Gigi, a very warm welcome to you. Hi. First of all, why do brands discount this so-called informal or this invisible economy? What are they doing wrong?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that it's unquantified, so people have no idea about it. I mean, if we just look at the food sector, what I call the KasiNomics sector, you've got a whole range of different foods from the kota, which is a famous quarter loaf of bread with slap chips and polony, of course, all the way through to vetkooks and mableti. And if you look at that, just the food industry, the takeaway food industry is worth about 87 billion rand. There's about 50,000 outlets. Just the kota industry is worth about 10 billion rand. You have this massive industry, but it's an invisible economy because it's kind of on the sidewalks, it's in a gussie, in a township.
So how do brands get closer to it? Because obviously this is a place where they need to be mining, but they're not.
Well, I mean, part of it is understanding and creating proximity to the informal sector. I think corporates have become lazy. It's very easy to go to one large corporate retailer and deal with them and not look at a multitude of, say, 100,000 spazas or 50,000 little outlets. And so what happens is that if you look at this problem which we had with the listeriosis, is that there was an immediate communication with people like the ShopRites and Pick n Pays of the world and withdrawing stock and those. The little Gorda outlet that is sitting in Soweto or Tembiso or whatever suddenly was hit with no customers coming there. And these are people who are making a livelihood out of that, who have relatively small turnovers.
What should Tiger Brands have done?
Well, I think the most important thing would have been taking responsibility of it and addressing things like, for instance, the withdrawing of stock at a smaller scale, setting up, for argument's sake, depots where they could take it back versus at a place like ShopRite. I also think that it was handled badly by people from the Department of Health all the way through. Simple thing is that all the polony slices that are used in a vetkoek or a gorda are fried. You wouldn't have had that problem of listeriosis. Your problem with listeriosis is based on cold meats or uncooked food. Why was there not just a simple communication?
So do you think it's because the big brands, the big conglomerates simply don't care, or do they not know how to do this?
I think that the first is they don't know how to do it. They don't know there's a multitude of outlets out there. They know this thing exists.
But they must know that, surely.
Well, their product goes to a wholesaler, and from a wholesaler disappears into a black hole.
So they lose sight of the value chain.
Exactly, and they've created no relationship. We have built a campaign called Palmlet Puma Pambili, which is about Palmlet puts you ahead. And we built a database of thousands and thousands of gorda outlets that sell cheese slices, and we're able to communicate them using WhatsApp and other mechanisms very quickly. You guys are right, the program works by
communicating. And the response from those small business owners is what? One of appreciation?
Well, we found with Parmalat, an example is that they have the dominant market share, and despite cheaper entrants entering the market, they've continued to have 70, 80% of the market share because they've created a relationship and interaction with those outlets. And these outlets are no different to any other form of business. We look down our noses at these businesses. We don't recognize how important they are.
Which is the backbone of this country's economy.
Well, 100%. Yeah. I wrote in KasiNomics, and I've just written a follow-up book called KasiNomic Revolution, that this is actually the future of our economy because it employs, millions of people. We talk about a 28% unemployment in this country. We're actually talking 28% formal unemployment because we don't measure the gorda outlet that employs 3 people. We don't measure, any of that informal economy. And because it's unquantified and we don't have databases and stuff like that, we don't really access that market. And we don't invest in relationships and communication that we would do at a different level.
All right, pun intended, but certainly food for thought. Gigi Alcock, thank you very much indeed for talking to us today. And Gigi will be speaking at the 2019 Nedbank IMC conference. Coming up, behind the scenes at Africa's only custom-built, world-class, Hollywood-style film studios.